Hello everyone and welcome to the CPI channel. This is Creepercraftguy.
Hello.
Matthew, are you okay?
Yeah, I said hello, my name is Megacomet.
I think the Discord kind of broke because I only heard you for a second. Great start.
Classic Discord.
Welcome to a unique little video where us as Genshin Impact fans are going to be ranking each and every playable character in the game. As you can see on this little tier list that we've got here, we have all current playable characters up to 2.2, where they added Thoma. And yeah, we've also with the addition of Paimon, even though she's not playable, as well as Dainslief in this tier list.
What?
Now,
what do you mean she's not playable?
Okay, well, it really depends.
Oh,
but
wait, this is gonna... Wait, hold on. If Paimon's in this tier list, is that a spoiler? Is that a spoiler if she's gonna become a playable character in the future?
She's not going to become a playable character in the future.
That's what you think.
Anyway, so as you can see, we've got all the characters here. We're gonna go in order. It starts off alphabetically, and it stays alphabetical until you get to Zhongli. And then it's just the characters who get added in all the updates after that. So Matthew and I are both really big fans of Genshin. It's primarily thanks to him that I got into the game.
Yeah.
And it's taken over my life.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We're gonna do a video here where we're gonna take all these characters that are currently in the game. Like I said, this is exclusively the playable characters, no like NPCs or anything, with the exception of Paimon and Dainslief. So, I take it that you've got it in the same order I do, or is it different for you?
Yeah, and if not, I'll just search for the character and then pick them up and drag them on.
Alright, is the first character you have male traveler?
Yes.
Okay, in which case, we'll do what we did in, like, the other tier list video that we put on my channel and take turns talking about the character. I think you should go first and talk about Male Traveler, considering you picked Male Traveler. Yes,
and also I mained Male Traveler for a long time, and I want to build him up again.
Yeah.
He's very... Go on.
No. It was your turn. I'm just saying, talk a little bit about what you like about Male Traveler, and then put him in a tier.
Well, I think he's great. He's really pretty. He's got a great design. He starts off with his animo skills pretty good, actually. If he steps on fire and walks around, he's basically a walking flamethrower.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really like him. S tier. Where's the...
Okay.
There you go.
I personally am going to have to put Traveler in like B tier at most.
Damn.
I agree with most of what Matthew has said about him. I think my personal favorite element for Traveler is Electro.
I've never tried the Electro that much.
You should. To be perfectly honest, the way I've built my Traveler, they're not especially strong, but they are really good in a team composition, because they're kind of like a fast attacking Razor that's got like a similar special skill to the Raiden Shogun, where like they just do additional electro damage for every member of the party for a short time. That's their burst. But yeah, they are a really good utility / sub DPS. And they also, and another thing that they can do is whenever they use their elemental skill, they drop these chakras, and if characters pick the chakras up, it like buffs them.
Oh, sweet.
And it's a pretty good buff as well. I don't really remember what it does. I think it might speed up energy recharge so you can use your burst faster.
Ooh.
But
sweet.
Yeah, I don't really remember, but it is a really good ability. Alright, I'll go next, talking about character. Next on the list is Albedo, who I suspect we will be seeing a rerun of him, I suspect, in 2. What's the next one? 2.3 is the next update?
I think so.
Yeah. Anyway, I suspect we'll be seeing a rerun of him, so maybe we'll get some more stuff in regards to him. I'm gonna say it outright, and Oh, by the way, there's one thing I completely forgot to mention. I don't know if this is the same for you, Matthew, but basically this tier list, it goes from S to F, right?
Yeah, same.
And basically going from S to F downward, basically S to F is absolute awesome favorite character, really, really like them is A. B is like them a bit, so it's adore, love, like. Then C is neutral. You don't have any real strong feelings on them. D is slight dislike. E is big dislike, and F is just hate. No one likes them. It's just that they shouldn't. They suck.
You are aware this isn't my first tier list, right?
Yeah, I know, but let's be real here. There's a high chance that nobody will get an F for this tier list, because I personally like all of these characters.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, same.
That being said...
I know my way around the alphabet.
Yeah. That being said, my opinion of Albedo does not go above D tier. For the simple reason that, to me, overall, he just seems very bland, and despite the mystery that surrounds him, we haven't really got much out of Albedo that really interests me, even though he's appeared quite a few times since he was added in the game. I liked his scenes during 1.6 with the Summer Islands, but that's about it.
I think I like his playstyle, honestly. Like, I didn't think much of him at first with both like his character and his moveset, but once I started like playing him and seeing more of him, I began to think he's like pretty good. So I'm gonna put him in A for Albedo. That's where he goes.
Yeah. There are two things I will add before we move on. One, nobody really remembers this event, but there was an event a short while ago where you could go through this big dungeon that had these little like totems in it, and you had a bunch of trial characters at the ready, and Albedo was one of the 5-star trial characters that you had.
I remember
That's the only time I've ever actually played as Albedo, and I thought he was pretty good. So playstyle really isn't a problem. The other thing, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think Albedo, for you, Matthew, was your first ever banner 5-star, right?
No, it was Qiqi, actually.
No, I mean in terms of event banners, because Qiqi is standard.
Well, I got Qiqi
as in
on
characters that are
banner.
exclusive for a short time.
I got Qiqi on Childe's banner, and then proceeded to get Qiqi again on Childe's rerun banner, and then Childe.
Yeah, but you also got Albedo after Qiqi, right? What I mean is,
yes.
he was your first limited time character, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Right, there you go. Alright, do you want to talk about the next character?
Who's next?
I think it's your turn.
Amber.
Next is Amber.
Very underrated.
Agreed.
From what I've seen. I think she's lovely, both personality and like and design. I'm definitely putting her in S tier because so underrated. She could be really powerful. You could like people call her useless, but even if you're saying that and sending her out on explorations, is she technically useless? And also, you can make any character extremely powerful. So
yeah. Power and stats are so dependent on artifacts that it's really not correct saying Genshin characters are good or bad.
I'm putting her in S. There you go.
I'm going to put her in A. Not necessarily for playstyle or strength, but just because I think she's a very good character. And considering besides Paimon, she is the very first character you meet in Genshin. Well, you see Venti for a short bit, but she's the first person that you actually interact with. I think she's a great introduction to the characters in this game, because by this point we have a whole heaping load of excellent characters in Genshin. Amber's the first one that you actually get acquainted with, and it's a really good start to the game. So yeah, I'm not putting her in S, I'm gonna put her in A.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on. My turn to talk about a character, which next is Barbara. It's gonna sound
Oh my god,
really...
barbed wire. That's her name if you make her a DPS.
This is gonna sound really cruel, but I'm putting Barbara in E.
Eat it?
Yeah. She's a good character. Like I said, I don't hate any of these guys. Whoever goes in F, there is one character that is gonna go in F, absolutely. I know I said that F tier means we hate their guts and we despise them, but like I said, there's no one in this game that I actually hate that much. Every character has their good charms. I just think Barbara is very lackluster for me, for a few reasons. Primarily because before Childe's rerun, which is where I first got him, Barbara was the only Hydro character I owned, and that made things very difficult, because at the time I didn't have that good knowledge of how to actually build characters, and she wasn't that physically powerful either. So I didn't really use it to the best of her ability, and also the fact that she shows up so much in the games, I kind of want other characters to get screen time over her. This isn't saying I hate Barbara, I absolutely don't, but I think if we were to do a top 50 or however many characters are in this game, she would probably be second from the bottom for me, primarily just due to bad experience.
I see. Well, I really like her. I think she's like really nice and caring, and she's quite a really good healer for a lot of people who want to use her. I haven't really played her that much, but I kind of want to build her a bit, see how that goes. But at this moment, I think I'll put her in B tier for Barbara. There you go.
All right. Alright, you're up next.
Who have I got next?
You've got Beidou.
Beidou. I like Beidou. I like Beidou. I used to use her like a lot for a Claymore user, because that counter thing she does is really strong.
Agreed.
But overall, she's just a really, cool character, and that's good. So I think, but like, I'm not like over the moon for her, but I think she's still good, so I'll put her in B tier as well. I'm not putting characters in alphabetical order.
Yeah, but you are unintentionally.
I'm not putting them in the alphabet. I'm not putting them in the tier list of their name. If that makes sense.
You're not doing it on purpose, but you are.
Yes.
Alright. I, on the other hand, have a bit of a reverse opinion here. Like how Matthew said that he's going to put Barbara in B and I put her in E. Matthew puts Beidou in B. I am going to put Beidou in S. She has always been, personally, one of my favourite characters. I was so happy when she finally got some screen time. And her screen time in the Inazuma story is really good. She has such a great personality, and it's shown in every scene she's in. As Matthew said, she's an absolute beast. She's probably... Tier lists on, like, meta really do suck, because they put her in, like, second from the bottom. I disagree with that completely. I think she is quite possibly the strongest 4-star in the game. By strongest, I mean she probably has the potential to do the most damage, not that she's overall the best 4-star. But she was, for a very, very long time, one of my main DPSs. I don't use her as much anymore now that I have other Electro characters like Raiden Shogun and Kujo-Sara. I really should, though, because I have Beidou at C5 now, and she is still, to this day, one of my strongest characters. And just in general, yeah, strong Electro woman. In general, Beidou is just fantastic. And as one final side note, one of my favorite event storylines so far has been the most recent one. The last one, which was the Moon Chase Festival. Beidou shows up quite a few times in Moon Chase, and like I said, every scene she's in, especially the ones that she shares with Ningguang, are fantastic. So yeah, Beidou's gonna stay in S. Now it's my turn to go first. This is one I think we can very much agree on. The next character is Bennett. Yes, I'm gonna put Bennett in A.
No, he's going in S.
Yeah, I knew you'd put him in S.
Slamming him right in there. Gently.
Alright, there's so much
him in S tier.
Yeah. Bennett, in general, is a character who we can say quite a lot about. Okay, this is purely my personal opinion, but I'm going to say it outright. As of right now, I think Bennett is the best 4-star in the whole game.
He's incredible,
Just my personal opinion, in terms of how useful he is in battle, even if you just keeping him around for the sake of his burst, he is a monumental part of creating a strong team. Because with that burst in particular, and with the fact that he can charge it up very quickly, put that circle down and then the battle immediately will go in your favour. He's such an excellent support,
Unless you're fighting
and aside from his battle prowess, he also is a really goofy and fun-loving character as well. He's fun to hang with. He's like, well, I guess in the sense that if you knew him in real life, you'd probably hate being near him because he's so unlucky.
How dare you, Jack? Be quiet. Don't you dare say that.
No. I'd still hang out with him. But I'm just saying, it would probably cost me quite a lot. That's the reason why his adventure team, which, by the way, the story with his adventure team, as well as his backstory and how he actually grew up, really sad stuff.
His adventure team are cowards.
Quite a few of the things that happened to Bennett in his past are very, very unlucky. He is an orphaned boy. If you read his backstory, the story of his vision, by the way, I have read his vision story, is really good. It's really thorough, really in-depth, and just in general, I think Bennett is a character who deserves more attention. And if you have Bennett, if you've managed to somehow pull for Bennett, I think I have Bennett at C4.
What's my Benedict constellation?
I'll let you have a look at that if you want.
C3.
C3. Alright. I think I have him at C3 or C4 as well. But if you have Bennett at any constellation, even 0, I absolutely recommend that you use him. Especially when it comes to domains and stuff like that. He can help you swallow domains whole. Really, he is. He's part of my domain team.
Stupid ruin guards.
Alright, what about you, Matthew? Have you got anything to add?
I don't have anything else to say. I just love him. He's such a good boy.
Yeah,
he's
great.
His birthday's February 29.
I like how you know.
Yeah.
Or are you looking it up as we're speaking?
I got like his birthday message on February 28th. I'm like, oh no.
Oh, that's a shame.
Your birthday's on a leap year. Of course it is.
Yeah. Anyway, it's your turn now. The next character is Chongyun, so...
Chongyun. Alright, I think he's okay. I like him. Like, I don't have the strongest connection to him, but I did enjoy his, like, hangout event and his story. I think he's cool. I like the whole exorcist, like, thing he's got. That's like interesting. I like that. I was planning on using him, but then I rolled Eula, who I thought was like way stronger.
Mhm.
I do kind of want to build Chongyun. I want to build a lot of characters, honestly. I think I'll put Chongyun in B tier for Bongyun. Because not easy.
Okay, I personally am actually going to agree with that. I'm going to put Chongyun in B as well. Because I have quite mixed feelings about him. On the one hand, for quite a long time, he was a big member of my team. For a long time after I first started playing Genshin, the only cryo character I had was Kaeya. And then I got Chongyun. Then I got Chongyun during Lantern Rite through the what's it called, like the event thing that they did where you could get a free 4-star. I picked Chongyun because at the time the only two I didn't have were Chongyun and Xingqiu. And also I needed a better cryo DPS. I've really had a falling out with Chongyun for a few reasons. One, after a while, like is the case with Matthew when he got Eula, I eventually came across cryo characters who were just so much stronger and so much better than him. And also, this is just a personal opinion of mine, I think, and of all of the hangout events, and bear in mind, I've played all of them except Sayu's. I've only got one ending for Sayu.
Oh, yeah.
I think so far...
I still need to do those!
Yeah,
oh, no,
I think...
forgot!
Yeah, I think so far Chongyun's is the weakest of the hangout events, because I played all of them except Sayu. I did Thoma. I did all of Thoma's endings. I'll talk about that when we actually talk about Thoma.
Maybe... okay.
And yeah, I think his, in the end, he didn't have the best endings. But in general, though, he has been a significant team member for me. I ended up taking his artifacts and putting them on Ayaka when I got her, which was a bit cruel of me, to be honest. But he is actually a very good support cryo character, primarily because his elemental skill imbues all physical attacks with cryo. And also I'm pretty sure if Cameron was here, he would put Chongyun higher than us because he uses him quite a lot from what I know. But yeah, that's just my opinion of Chongyun. He's just gonna stay in B tier.
When you said you had a falling out with Chongyun, I thought it was like, oh, we're not friends anymore. You tripped me up in the park.
No, not like that. Anyway, my turn to talk about a character. This is one I'm a little stuck on, because next up is Diluc. And you know what? I'm gonna put Diluc with Beidou in S. I think he is an S tier worthy character and always has been.
I think he's cool, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
he
for me
has
personally,
one of the coolest cutscenes where he just beats up the Healy shells on a bridge. I'll put him in B tier.
Yeah. Also, by the way, Matthew,
yeah?
correct me if I'm wrong, have you read Genshin's manga yet?
I haven't. I've only read the prologue.
Yeah, because the prologue has Venti in it, and that's all you care about.
No.
Anyway,
Venti on the font did not allure me in any way, shape, or form.
Oh yeah, by the way, before I actually get onto this point, the Genshin manga, I almost forgot to mention this, is another reason why I absolutely adore Amber. Amber in the manga is the greatest character. But Diluc is also, in the manga, is similarly great, because you see him quite a lot, especially early on in the story, and there's a lot of things that you see, because his backstory revolves around the fact that he watched his father die right in front of him when they were attacked by a beast. And in Genshin's manga, you actually see that happen, and it's really heartbreaking. So Diluc, aside from the fact that he is basically Genshin Batman with a fire sword, that in itself is what makes him such a fantastic character. This sort of inner conflict that he's carried with him all the years. Also, let's be honest, Mondstadt is the land of freedom and everything, but I'm pretty sure in the game they really try to sell the fact that Mondstadt wouldn't be as great as it is if Diluc wasn't in it, because he's the owner of Dawn Winery, and Mondstadt makes most of its income on its alcohol industry. So, in general, I just think Diluc is an excellently written character, and also as a side note, before I hand over to Matthew to state a few facts of his own, very recently, for Genshin's anniversary, they did this online event where they showed you all the statistics that you got in the game over how many days you've been playing, what characters you've been doing certain things with, and apparently Diluc is my most played character, which surprises me, because ever since I got Yoimiya, I've kind of put him to the side. I still use him for, like, domains and stuff, but I mainly use Yoimiya as my pyro DPS now, so it surprised me, especially considering Zhao was my main for the longest time, that I have more playtime on Diluc than I do on Zhao. But yeah, that surprised me a little bit. Anything to add?
Nah, not really. To be honest.
Alright. Anyway, next up is Diona, and I think it's your turn.
Okay, Diona was my least favorite character in Genshin at before her hangout, mainly because I never used her and I knew nothing about her, and I couldn't be asked to like read anything about her because I just didn't really, bother. But after playing her hangout events, I think she's cool. I like her. I think based opinions, and I like her little gag of no matter what I make, it comes out good. I'll put it, I think, probably B tier for me personally.
Yeah, I'm gonna put Diona in D, because
that stands for Diona now.
God damn it. I'm literally putting her there to spite her, because the first event banner I ever actually rolled on was Xiao, and I kind of failed and had to pay money to get him. Not an awful lot, but I did. And primarily the reason why I did that is because I maxed out Diona on that banner. I maxed out her constellation. So I literally just have a C6 Diona sitting in my character archive. Naturally I spiked Diona over that. But like Matthew said, I think the hangout really redeemed my opinion of her, because the hangout itself was really nice. And when you actually learn more about Diona and her backstories and her reasons for doing things, it really does shed light on her, and it is really interesting. Anyway, moving on.
Fischl!
The next character is Fischl. Right.
My favorite fish.
Okay. It's my turn, but would you like to go first on this one?
Nah, you go.
Are you sure?
I can't take that right away.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure you have more to say about Fischl than I do, though.
Nah, you go first.
All right. So, personally speaking, Fischl, unfortunately, escapes being one of my favorite characters.
She couldn't escape. No.
For one simple reason. By the way, she's going in B tier. By the way. So she's above average, but she's not great. The singular reason why she is in B tier and not higher is because she literally just appears for one event and has not appeared since. And might I add, because I joined during Ganyu's banner, it was an event I missed. So I never actually got to see Fischl screen time. And as of such, I don't know enough about her character as I should. She does remind me a lot of Gundam Tanaka from Danganronpa, who is one of my favorite characters from Danganronpa.
The best character in the entire Danganronpa.
So that is good. I'm gonna be honest, a lot of the dialogue I have seen from her in the event that I've watched, does get a bit boring and repetitive after a while, but that's for the simple reason that I didn't play it, and thus my opinion is slightly biased. So while Fischl is great, she doesn't really go higher than B for me.
Well,
So
I personally enjoy her dialogue. I think it's really interesting to listen to, and sometimes I talk like that when I'm just going off or just
yes, and I find it very annoying.
And my knowledge far is better than yours, Jack. At
Alright, so I take it she's an S for you?
Definitely S. She's so cool, and her design's really cool, and she's a really, really helpful character with Oz and everything. Oh yeah,
Oz?
if Oz was here, he would also be an S tier.
Oh, Oz, okay. As in the bird.
Yes, the bird.
I didn't really hear what you said. No, I'll tell you what, that's something I will add. I do agree with that. Because while my Fischl isn't built, before I got Raiden Shogun, there was a thing that you can do with Yoimiya, where if you put Oz down and then use Yoimiya's skill, the Electro and the Pyro combine together, and they do a whole load of damage.
I just love her. I love her. Like I've gone through like her profile and her voiceovers, and like the dialogue's really nice to listen to.
All right. Anyway, it's your turn to talk
I also
about
like how she breaks character sometimes. It's funny.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. Anyway, you're next.
Who's next? Ganyu West. Okay, so.
I'm not making that edit.
I will.
God damn it.
Ganyu. I mean, I played her story. I think she's nice. I like her backstory, her story. It's an alright story. I've played like her, what is it? Her, story character quest.
Yeah, I remember that. That was alright.
I thought it was fun. I don't really have super strong feelings for her or anything. Like
a majority of Genshin players do.
Like a majority of Genshin players do. But I don't really have much to say about her. But I will put her in her. I'll put her in B tier because I've seen how powerful she is. I'll put her there for the playstyle as well. Because oh my god, she's like a ton of bricks. I have seen what she's capable of.
Yeah, Christ. If you just look up Ganyu online. Alright, so let's be real here. As Matthew said, Ganyu at the moment is undoubtedly the strongest character in the game.
No, that's fantastic.
In terms of a DPS. But I'm going to be real, and I think, contrary to a lot of Genshin players' opinions of her, as a character, I think she is overrated. And this is coming from someone who really loves all the cryo characters, which includes Ganyu. I have no strong feelings to Ganyu. I don't hate her at all. I don't even dislike her, but I don't like her. I think in general, she is a very neutral character who's there, and she is a good addition to the cast, but she doesn't really amount to an awful lot. So I'm gonna put Ganyu in C, right in the middle. And now, we move on to who is quite possibly a rival of Ganyu in terms of how strong she is, which is Hu Tao. And like I said, it's my turn to talk about it, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's my, like I said, I don't care about meta at all. I don't care how strong characters are. I only really care about design, personality, and how fun they are to play. And with that in mind, Hu Tao is going in F at the very bottom.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not fair because she is an okay character. But I'm gonna this is just my personal opinion here. She has the worst key quest in the game. That quest with the ghosts and the stuff from start to finish was really boring for me. She's also, if I met someone like her in real life, I would despise her, because I think she's so annoying. For someone who runs a funeral parlor, she is stupidly and annoyingly optimistic, and that just, in general, that doesn't really work for me. Because I know that having a... I'll give it credit, it breaks cliches, but I do think that, even though having a Wangsheng funeral parlor owner and manager be someone who is, sort of dark, gloomy, and depressed, is way too cliche, but it still makes sense. For someone who's, hangs around the dead all the time, she's way too optimistic and happy for her own good. She's way in your face. I don't hate Hu Tao despite the fact that she's at the bottom of my list, but she is still undoubtedly my least favourite character that you can play as in the game right now. So sorry to everyone who loves her, because I know that she's also a very popular character, but I'm just very biased against her.
I think she's okay. I like her, that spooky vibe she's got and her little ghost thing. My one thing is, someone I knew who was not very nice to me is hyper fixated on Hu Tao, so when I see her it kind of leaves that ugh taste in my mouth, because I just get reminded, I'm ugh. So I think that's kind of holding me back a bit, but it's not like a hate kind of thing. I still think she's alright. She seems entertaining to be around. I'll put her in C tier. There you go. C for Kutel. That's not her name.
Okay, so that was me who talked about Hu Tao. It's your turn to talk about the next character.
Jeans. Okay. Trousers. I think she's...
Trousers! Alright, go on.
I admire her dedication in her character. I admire her like dedication to her like work and all that. And she is a fun character. I do love throwing people off cliffs.
Me too, to be honest.
That is enjoyable. I can't. She's another character I want to try and build as well. Her like playstyle is fun, and I like throwing people around.
Yeah.
Her character's good. Other than that, I'd say she's alright. She gets to go in A tier. Yeah.
I'll tell you this
she's
right
also
out
just
the
really.
gate.
She's also kind. I like that.
Yeah. I'll tell you this right out the gate. My only problem with Jean in the game overall is the fact that she stole my pity twice on two characters that I really wanted, which were Eula and Raiden Shogun. And I lost that pity because of her both times, and as of such I spite her. But in general, Jean is really good, and if not for that, she just very narrowly escapes S tier. So I'm going to put her in A with Bennett and Amber right now, for quite a few reasons. One, she's really fun to play. She's actually a really good character. So much so that I didn't even build her and she was really strong. She's a great healer. She's got some really good attacks. She's a really good Anemo DPS alongside being a healer. And if you have a healer who's like can do damage as well, that's really useful. Her little traits are good, her design is beautiful, she's easily one of the most gorgeous characters in the game. She's got a simple but good personality. She's a fun character to have screen time for. She is in my type, I guess, in terms of personality as well. So, if not for those bad experiences with the banners, which isn't really her fault, it's just the system, the way it works, Jean just narrowly escapes S tier, but she's a very high A. She's very good.
I will say, she almost took my pity for Venti, and then I immediately got Venti on the next thing that the temple showed me.
Yeah.
And also I'm putting Barbara in A tier.
Wait, where did you put Barbara before? B?
B tier.
Alright.
Now B tier stands for Beidou instead of Barbara.
I'm gonna now talk about the next character, which is Kaeya.
Kanye.
Right out of the gate, I'm gonna put Kaeya in B. He's similar to Albedo in the sense that you don't know much about him, but despite that, his personality in general makes him a much better character. He is actually a very decent DPS at the beginning of the game. I think just artifacts, early game artifacts aside, being one of the starter characters, Kaeya is probably the best DPS of the starter characters, with basic artifacts, that is. He is incredibly good for exploration, being able to ice bridge everywhere. He's a free character as well. You get him completely for free, which is great. And the screen time he gets, while he doesn't get as much of it anymore, combined with his relationship with the other knights, particularly with Diluc. I know Diluc's not really a knight anymore, but my point stands. In general, I just think Kaeya's overall pretty solid. Above average, but nothing fantastic, so he's gonna go in B.
I like Kanye. I think he's cool. I like his design. You can make bridges with him, and that's good. He's very versatile in the sense of He's versatile when exploring because you can make bridges over water, stops you from drowning. Also, his ice lasts the longest in water, so that gets him in the A tier. Yeah. And also the reasons you said, yeah.
Alright, you're next.
Keqing. Because that's the sound people make when people talk about money, and she works with money, I think. I don't know.
You're off to a great start.
She's another character I didn't really think much of, and then I saw her more in stories, and I really liked her. I like her personality. I like her design. She looks great. She's just cool. I kind of get like the anxiety thing with friends that she had. I get that.
That is relatable.
That. Yeah, she's relatable. Yeah. Also, she feels more like less serious than I thought she was. I think I'll put her in A tier.
Alright. I'm actually going to put Keqing in B tier. And I will state this. If not for Moonchase, if not for her involvement in the Moonchase Festival and how she was one of the key characters in that, she would probably be in D or E.
Yeah, Moonchase
for the
is
simple
good.
Reason that she's a great character to have on the team. She's very powerful. Of the standard banner characters, she might be the best DPS.
I want to build her too.
Yeah, I don't have her. She's actually the only standard banner character I don't have. And I do kind of want to try her out, because I remember in the same event I was talking about Albedo, I did try Keqing out. But if not for Moonchase and how she was such a well-written character during that event, especially with the fact that you get to see more of her cute side in it, she'd probably be a lot lower on this list for the simple reason that her screen time in the Archon quest, there's very little of it, and also she's not presented as an openly thorough character as much as she is in Moonchase. So Moonchase really did save her from getting in a lower tier on this one for me. So yeah, she's a solid B. She's a solid character overall. Alright, is it my turn? I think it's my turn. Alright, I'm gonna say this right now. Klee is going in A for me.
I'll put her in.
Wait, don't say yet. Don't say yet. Let me talk about her first. And then when you talk about her, you tell everyone where you put her. Right. Klee's adorable as hell. Alright? I think that's something that we can all agree on. I get that she's a bit of a troublemaker, but that's what's endearing about her. She's a very well-written character with lore much deeper than you think it is. Her story quest was one of the very first that you play in the game, and it's a really good one at that. She's one of the best catalysts in the game, and I'm not a big fan of catalysts. I tried pulling for her, but I lost my pull to Qiqi. But in general, Klee is just... The screen time that Klee has gotten, she's the center of attention every scene she's in. In the future, I hope we get an event that takes place in Mondstadt that's very, very similar to Moonchase and Liyue, which featured all of the current Liyue characters. And I hope to see Klee in that as well, because even after 1.6 with the islands, how she was the main character of that quest, I really just want to see more of Klee, because she's just such a fun-loving, adorable little character who you can't help but smile when you see her. So yeah, that's my thoughts of Klee. That's why she's going in A. She would be in S if I actually had her. Okay,
she does a little bit of trolling, and her mum's Japanese voice actor is also the voice of Lady Dimitrescu, or however you say her name in Resident Evil.
Dimitrescu, I think, is how you actually pronounce it.
In Resident Evil Village. That doesn't change my opinion at all, but she's still going in B tier.
Alright.
I just thought that was, yeah.
Alright. You're next.
Lisa. She's
the last of the start characters.
Oh yeah, the last member of the DK crew, Lisa Simpson. She's one of the first characters I knew about. Like I first heard about when I started Genshin.
She was very, very famous back when Genshin first started out.
It was either her voice or those videos on YouTube were like top 10 Genshin Impact moaning noises when you climb. In the Japanese version, I'm like, yeah, okay, thanks. But, yeah, I think I like her. I like her. I think she's cool. She's good. Like, she's very good for like hitting people with electro, since she hits everyone around her. I still don't know what the number on people mean when she hits her targets.
Me neither, to be honest.
I should probably look that up. Actually, I'll do that later. But yeah, I don't have much to say about her. I just think she's a nice character. I like her.
So what tier is she going in?
She's a nice librarian. I like her. I like her. What's the word?
Personality?
No. Well, yes, but also her methods. Her methods of like dealing with troublemakers or whatever.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. I think she was very funny in Windbloom as well.
I'll put no shocking people. Come on. Okay, beat it.
Alright. Lisa, yeah, basically Matthew has said everything about Lisa that I could. I can't really add anything onto that. For me, personally, Lisa is the most average of average in this game. Which is not to say I dislike her. In fact, I think she's pretty good. But I just think, if there's ever a character in Genshin who is the absolute middle ground point between characters that are above average and below average, if there's ever a character in Genshin who sits right on the point that distinguishes them, it's Lisa for me. So that she's going in a solid middle C tier. Right, next up is Lumine, this is something that's a bit difficult to talk about because everything that we said about male travelers' playstyle carries on over to the female traveler.
Yeah, I'm putting her in just S tier because of the same reasons.
Yeah. I'm actually going to I put Aether in B. I'm going to put Lumine in low A because the simple and single reason, and bear in mind this isn't really a great reason. The single reason why Lumine is just narrowly one tier above Aether is because I think her design is better. That's literally it. And by better, I don't mean Aether has a bad design, I just think Lumine's is better. I think she's a lot cuter.
You just like the female character designs of...
Alright, yeah, I do, sue me.
That's
so
why
what?
you picked female Byleth in 3 houses.
No, it's just because in general I think female protagonist characters, if you have the option to pick between... I mean, look at Pokemon. Because female trainers in Pokemon, whenever you pick the girl side, have more customizable features than the boys do. There's more you can do with
you
them.
can't customize yourself in Genshin.
No, you can't, but it's just the fact that in general the female characters, female avatars in games have better designs in my opinion. It's just my bias, really. But that's the only reason why she's there. Alright, next up.
Mona Lisa.
No, just Mona. We already talked about Lisa.
No, this is the painting. I did enjoy her story. I thought it was good. I liked her character story, side quest thingy. Her design's nice, and I like her trying to dodge the fact that she's poor. That's funny. I think honestly I'll put her in B tier. She was really neat in the Fischl story as well.
Star event was good with Mona, yeah.
If I put Mona, I'll put Mona in front of Lisa. There you go.
Alright. Now I'll tell you this, okay? Mona is probably one of my least favorite characters in the game. I think my favorite thing about her is her English voice. Because, in the English dub of Genshin, she's voiced by Felicia Angel. whose voice, in my opinion, is just really nice to listen to. In terms of actual battle, I get that she's strong. She's a very strong Hydro Catalyst user in comparison to Barbara. I'm not the biggest fan of her design. I think it's very baiting. Out of everyone in Genshin, I think she in particular has the most baiting waifu bait design. Her personality, yes, like Matthew said, she's funny, but I think of every character in Genshin who is played for comedic relief, she is the least funny, aside from Hu Tao, obviously. But I don't hate Mona. My opinion of her is just way below average. So yeah, she's gonna be with the other Hydro Catalyst user in E tier for me.
Oh.
Alright. Next up is Ningguang. Now I'll tell you this. Ningguang has the same thing with Keqing to me, in a sense that, if not for her involvement in Moonchase and her interactions with Beidou, like I mentioned earlier, she would be in a much lower tier. That said, I'm putting her in C. My least favourite part about her, she's a very pretty character, she's got a gorgeous design. Undoubtedly so. She's also got a nice voice, she's got a good personality, that complements Beidou's fantastically, as well as everyone else who she interacts with.
The voice is like, nice hair, thanks.
No, it's not like that.
The voice has hair. Ningguang, I like her, but I don't really have much to say about her. I don't really use her that much. I'll put her, and I didn't have much to say about. I just don't have much to say about her in general. I'll put her in C tier.
Yeah, that's where I put her. My least favorite part about Ningguang is her playstyle. This is just my opinion, but I don't think she's that fun. I'm not. For the longest time, I wasn't the biggest fan of Catalyst users who attack slowly. And Ningguang, I think in particular, has the most basic and like most frustratingly slow Catalyst attacks. So yeah, that's why she's in mid tier for me. Alright, your turn.
Alright, Paimon. So
No, you missed someone. Who
did I miss?
You missed Noelle.
Oh wait, Noelle, right. Yeah, I like Noelle. She's really useful. Like, as a DPS and support, she's really good. Like, it heals you, gives you shields, and her story, I like her dedication. She's very cool. She's very good.
All right, so what tier is she going in?
I'm definitely putting her in A tier. Also, she had 2 hangouts, so I got to learn a lot about her.
Oh yeah, she did have 2, didn't she?
And a lot about her is a lot of good.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think Noelle is probably, both of her hangouts collectively, together, are my second favourite overall. I will eventually say who my favourite is by the time we get to them, but overall, I think Noelle, like Matthew, I'm going to put Noelle in high B tier.
Put her in A tier.
Yeah, she's definitely just narrowly escapes A tier. Simple reason being that of all Claymore users, she has the most clunky playstyle, but she's very, very good early game, especially with her shields. Her burst, if you have her at like a decent constellation, she can do absolutely incredible damage, despite the fact that her base damage is rather low. Mainly what puts her up so high for me is her personality. She's one of the most adorable characters in the whole game, especially with her playstyle. Her design is great as well. And yeah, just in general, I think Noelle is overall super, super solid. So yeah, she's high B, narrowly escapes an A, but is still really good. Alright, now we talk about Paimon. It's my turn.
Paimon!
Okay, I'm gonna say outright, alright? I have less to say about Paimon than Matthew does. And in general, I think I'm actually going to put Paimon in, I don't know if I'm going to put her in B or A. I think I'm feeling generous, I will put her in A. I will say outright, I don't take kindly to Paimon's slander. I think I can understand someone saying that she's an extremely annoying travel companion. I can understand that, but I don't feel the same way. I think Paimon is more endearing than annoying.
On one hand... Sorry, go on.
No, you can go, quickly.
On one hand, it's good because, like, you don't talk, so she's the one who has to talk for you. On the other hand, if we meet a traumatized character who talks about how he can see his dead friends and is really upset, Paimon will say in front of him to you, I won't fix this guy as a few scores.
Yeah.
In that voice.
I think as the story has progressed, Paimon has had so much great dialogue. And in general, but then again, I'll state this outright. I'm someone who wasn't annoyed by Navi when I played, Ocarina of Time. Like the, hey, listen, over and over again thing. Really, I was really okay with that. I didn't really have any strong opinions, or I didn't get annoyed by that. So travel companions in games, I don't really get frustrated by. But Paimon in general, I don't really appreciate the slander for, because I think she's cute, she's got a sweet little design. My only concern is I want to know more about her. The lore on Paimon and why she's here and why she travels with you is so mysterious. She's kind of just there.
She's a fish.
And I really do hope that MiHoYo and Genshin will lead up to something, or at least a story chapter or something where we find out about Paimon's true origins, because no one seems to know what she is. And I really want to know because she interests me. Anything? Alright, now your turn, Matthew.
Alright, I think she's a Alright, I personally think she's a great DPS. She's such a powerful animo user, and her voice of and she's voiced by Chris Pratt, who's a really great compliment to Aether's voice actor of whoever Byleth is. What was it? Zach
Aguilar.
Zach Adam Sandler, yeah. And yeah, I think they work really well together. And that's about it, yeah.
Alright. Okay, moving on. We gotta talk about the next character. It's all yours, Matthew.
Who is it? Qiqi? Okay, yes. I love Qiqi. She's the best healer in my opinion. In my opinion, she's the best healer. She has a very tragic backstory. I just think she's really good. I like her design. Her like zombie design as well.
She was zombie in media.
Yeah. I think I'll put her. I'm definitely putting Qiqi in S tier. Also, she's just really nice. She's cool.
Yeah.
She forgets, which is a mood because I forget a lot. Probably not to the same extent. Oh yeah, I'm putting Paimon in A tier. Why not?
Okay.
I'm gonna agree with Undertale representation respect.
I'm gonna agree with Matthew on this one and put Qiqi in S. I love her character. I love her design. She was the best healer in the game in my opinion before I got someone else who we'll talk about in a bit.
You left me for another? Who is this woman?
We'll get to her in a bit.
Oh, shiver me timbers.
Because I've got quite a lot to say about her too. But I agree, I still use Qiqi, despite the fact that I have stronger cryo characters. She is really good. I haven't built her as much as I probably should have, and should probably fix that. But yeah, in general, everything Matthew said about Qiqi is something that I agree with. And yeah, in general, I think she's pretty good. She's overall pretty damn good. So she's also going to go in S tier for me.
Also, but I will have to say, one criticism I have noticed, despite being named Qiqi, she apparently has no connection to Goku.
God damn it. Oh yeah, that's one more point before we move on to Reizo, who is next. I like Qiqi's voice. I remember back in the old days of Genshin, people were all complaining about Qiqi's voice. She's a zombie, and it fits incredibly well for me. Right. Funny story in regards to Reizo, who we're going to talk about now. He's
Like
a
the
great
wolf
character. I really loved and enjoyed seeing him in the actual games. But he, for the longest time, was the only 4-star I didn't have, and it took me a whole year of playing Genshin to actually get my hands on him. That said, he's going in A tier for personality alone, but his design is also great. He's got a fun little playstyle, even though I haven't properly built him yet. And I really don't have an awful lot to say about Razor. I just think overall most of what I said about Bennett also applies to him, because Bennett I think is an overall really solid character, and Razor I think is the same. I think this little like Tarzan wolf boy, Tarzan Mowgli wolf thing boy who was abandoned and has a bit of a mysterious backstory. He quite possibly has the saddest vision story in the whole game. But in general, yeah, Razor just overall is super solid. So yeah, he's gonna go in A tier for me.
My reasons are pretty much the same as yours. I'm putting him in A tier.
Yeah, okay, so we agree on that one. Alright. I've just sort of looked at this thing. You're going next on the next character, but look who the next person you get to talk about is.
Yeah, I noticed.
After Sucrose.
I noticed.
And luckily look who I get to talk about next as well.
You get to talk about Infant.
Alright, but now you have to talk about Sucrose first.
Okay. Sucrose. I love her design. She looks great. She's animo, which is my favorite element. Pretty design, great personality. Just very sweet, very sweet. I wanted to build her. And then I got sidetracked. But she does have my Skyward Atlas, so I might want to build her up a bit. Oh, and she's also Constellation 4. Yeah, I probably will build her up later. Oh, and I spent stuff on her talents. Yeah, okay, I probably should.
You're just finding more and more reasons to build Sucrose.
A tier. Definitely A tier for her.
I'm going to put Sucrose in B tier personally, just because of the fact that she hasn't got as much screen time as I would like her to. But in general, the only thing I will add on to what Matthew said is, one, like he said, Sucrose's design is really good. She's the only character in the game with glasses. And, well, only playable character in the game with glasses, and I think we need more of that, to be honest.
Not the glasses.
I think we should definitely have more characters in the game who have glasses, other than Sucrose, because Sucrose, it looks adorable on her, like, she's got great design. Other thing I will add is, like I said earlier, there are certain things with the majority of Genshin fans that I don't agree with. For example, I don't agree with Paimon's fan art, I don't agree with Ganyu hype, or stuff like that. Another thing I don't agree with is Sucrose is budget venti. She's not. She absolutely is not budget venti. She's a really solid 4-star. She might actually be second behind Bennett for who I think is personally the best. I think the top three 4-stars I think in the game currently are, from first to third, are Bennett, Sucrose, and Beidou. Beidou's my favourite of the 3 characters, but I think Bennett and Sucrose are much more useful characters. Her whole thing is built around swell reactions, which she uses quite a lot. Venti has very different skills and can do very different things. So, no, Sucrose is not budget Venti. She's very much her own soldier. She's very strong, and I don't really want to hear any more of that, because she deserves more credit.
She can't be budget Venti. I didn't even have a budget when I was getting Venti.
Alright, the good news for me is the next character I get to talk about is Childe, aka Tartaglia. And I'm gonna say this straight out of the gate. As things are right now... Huh? What?
I'm gonna say right out of the gate, I hate Childe.
No. Right out of the gate, I'm gonna say this, okay? There have been a few times since 2.0, aka the Inazuma update, everything we've gotten after that, there have been a few times where this spot has almost been taken, especially by one particular character who we'll get to in a bit. As things are right now, Childe is my favorite character in Genshin. Just hands down, such a fantastic character for several reasons. 1, excellent design. 2, excellent playstyle. He's so fun to play. Especially with the fact that you can sort of like switch between his bow, which is range, and his physical attacking. Such an excellent way to make a character really helpful. 3 is, alongside being really fun to play, is also insanely strong. He's easily the greatest Hydra DPS, being currently one of their only 2 5-stars, but is absolutely fantastic. Wait, what number was I on? Yeah, 4. Number 4, excellent personality. One thing I love about characters is he's technically supposed to be a villain, but it's seen particularly in his story quest as well as his involvement in Liwei's Archon quest. He's not a conventional antagonist in any sense of the word. Compared to the other 2 Fatui Harbingers that we know of, being Signora and Scaramouche, he's a significantly more redeemable character, but still, even despite the fact that he's definitely nicer and definitely more welcoming, he is definitely still very much on the Saritsa's side and the Fatui side. His boss fight is probably the most fun boss fight in the whole game, is point number 5. And number 6, I just think in general he has one of, if not the best story quest in the whole game. I think actually, no, I'll tell you what, it's second place. Or, no, it's second and almost first. I think it's tied with someone. But in general, as if everything I have just said doesn't give it away, I think Childe is the greatest character in Genshin currently, and as things are right now, despite the fact that there have been several amazing characters who have come along and almost changed that, I love Tartaglia. I think he's an excellent character, and I loved his involvement in the most recent quest as well, but it was arguably one of his less impressive appearances. But even still, it was really good.
I like Childe. He's very strong, very powerful. He can kill. He can destroy rowing guards in under 10 seconds, which is very good. Rowing guards suck.
Yeah.
I'm putting it honestly. He's really good. I'll put him in S tier.
Nice, we agree.
Wait, where did he go? There he goes. Okay.
When did you actually... Can I just ask very quickly before we move on? When did you get Char? Was it the first rerun or the second?
First rerun.
Oh, so when he was in Windbloom with Venti?
Yes.
Alright.
My favourite monster character, Childe.
Speaking of whom? Well, actually, before you say that, remember, we tried to bullshit Xinyan into thinking he was from Mondstadt, didn't we?
Wait, what?
Do you remember in Labyrinth Warriors, the most recent event quest?
Yeah.
You try and convince.
Yeah.
You don't,
yeah.
You don't want to tell Xinyan that he's a Fatui, because then she'll get angry. So you instead pretend he's an adventurer from Mondstadt.
He's like Bennett, but talks like a Pokemon trainer.
All right. Anyway,
exciting
the floor is
Pokemon
yours.
battles are what I live for. I've been using my Pokemon Mewtwo in this paper domain.
Alright. I just went on a rant about my favourite character. It's time for Matthew to do the same.
My best boy, Venti! I love Venti so much. He's so pretty. I love his personality. He's such a powerful, playable character. His personality is so fun. He's fucking gorgeous. He's very funny, very laid back, carefree personality. He's just very funny, pleasant all the time. I'm slamming him at the toppest A tier. He's extremely powerful, really.
Wait, A tier?
No, S tier.
Yeah, you said A tier.
Nah.
Alright.
Okay, with all that said, F tier.
I don't like Venti as much as Matthew does, because I don't have him. I want him. However, I will very much agree that he belongs in S tier because he's just a fantabulous character.
He's hot.
I think he's easily... Well, yeah, that's not what I agree with, but...
How dare you.
Sorry. I have another Archon. I have 2 other Archons that I simp for over him. Actually, to be perfectly honest,
They really gave us the best boy first, man.
Yeah, Venti, first ever event banner character in Genshin, and easily one of the best. Also, Erika Halacha as well. I love pretty much every character she voices, and Venti is no exception. So in general, basically everything Matthew has said about Venti, I agree with. Except maybe for the whole legit simping for him. But if Venti ever somehow gets another rerun in the future, because I missed his first one, I will definitely consider it. Because I kind of want all 3 Archons, because I've got Zhongli and I've got Raiden. And I want Venti for several reasons. But yeah, Venti definitely belongs in S tier.
Yeah, also, I love his voice. I love, like, his voiceover things, like his story, his character story event, his character story thing. His voiceovers, the things he says when you use him in combat. When he says Yahoo, I keep thinking of, like, Venti in a Mario costume.
That's an edit you could probably make.
I want to draw that. If only I didn't suck.
Your drawing's fine. Alright, anyway.
Next character.
Next character is Xiangling, and it's my turn to talk about character. Again, the protagonist, arguably, aside from Keqing, obviously, the protagonist of Moonchase, which was a very recent event, a very good character. And if I'm being honest, when I first started to get into Genshin, before I actually played it, I saw some gameplay online, and I saw all of the characters who were in the game at that point. And from design, Xiangling immediately caught my interest, and then from gameplay and from actually getting her in the game, it was absolutely worth it. She was, to me, the original best girl, and is still definitely a best girl. I really need to build her because I have her at C5 and at some good talent percentage as well. She's a great character. I love her relationship with Gorou, and I love some of the cute things that she does in Moonchase, especially when you see her as a little baby. That was adorable. She's currently my Discord PFP.
Oh yeah, you do see Xiangling as a baby.
It's the most adorable thing in Genshin, hands down. But yeah, Xiangling is going in S. She's a great character. Adorable, funny, entertaining, friendly, lively. There's so much I could say about her, and it wouldn't be enough.
Actually, no, I'll put her in S tier.
She's great.
I'll put her in S tier for pretty much the same reason. Now, Gorou, he gets double S tier.
Yeah. Alright, we're not talking about Gorou though, we're talking about Zhao.
No, he's not Gorou though.
He is a god.
They're best mates. Gorou and Zhao, best mates. The best ship.
Do you remember how in Moonchase, Gorou, when Zhao left, Gorou started crying?
I don't think it was crying, just sad.
We just looked really sad, I guess.
Had it not been, I would have destroyed Lei Wei using only my paws.
Anyway,
Gorou later went mad at the abundance of chicken and mushroom skewers he found in my inventory.
It's my original main's turn to go, and you're just talking about Gorou.
He became Monokuma.
Shut up and talk about Zhao already.
Zhao main. Okay, so the Zhao main, Zhao. You take the moon and you kill the Yaksha. He takes them all. He's the only one left. I honestly like. I think Xiao's okay. I mean, he's not my favorite character. He's another character I don't really have much to say, but I think he's cool. He has a really cool backstory. He's also got a really cool like play style as well, of just incessantly ground pounding things. I don't know. I don't have much to say honestly, but yeah.
So what tier?
B tier.
All right. For me personally, Xiao was my first 5-star in Genshin, and for the longest time he was my main DPS. I don't use him as much anymore because I have better team compositions that do more damage. Xiao very much, for me, as the way I build him at least, is a selfish DPS. So if I'm gonna use him at his full potential, I have to build a whole team based around him. He is crazy strong though. He's a great character with a great backstory that I really felt for. As plain and as bland as Lantern Rite was, and its story mode and how it revolved exclusively around Xiao and you didn't really see any other characters. Xiao's screen time in Lantern Rite was great. He was such a well-written character during that event, and he's a well-written character in the Archon quest as well. So yeah, Xiao definitely is a high S tier. I think as things stand right now, he's definitely within my top 5, but no longer really has the right to be number 1 anymore. But I definitely still have him on my team as my most powerful Anemo character, at least. And yeah, just in general, I think he's fantastic. So yeah, Xiao's definitely yes. Right. Next up is Xingqiu, and I sort of mentioned him earlier as well. Interesting hot take is the fact that I actually really liked Xingqiu's story quest that you unlock after you get to Liyue. It's not something that most people really think about that much, because it's just one of those average like story quests that doesn't really need to be there. But Xingqiu was a pretty interesting character, and again, a lot of the Liyue character's best moments, in my opinion, come from Moonchase, and Moonchase is the only time that you actually see him on screen with Chongyun as well, and I love their little relationship, Xingqiu and Chongyun. In general, I did try building him, but I sort of gave up, because then I got Kokomi as a better Hydro character. But he did help me a lot against Pyro Hyperstasis with his burst, even though he's not built. There's really not much I can say about Xingqiu. He's just overall a really decent character, so I'm going to put him with Chongyun in B tier.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting something ready. Xingqiu, I think he's alright. I think he's cool. I like his design. He's got a very graceful moveset, and if I use it against if I use his special against ice characters, I'm just doing a flip in midair, frozen.
Yeah,
that's funny. I'll put him in B tier.
Yeah, same. I will tell you this much, alright? There is one thing that puts Xingqiu down a little bit, my biggest qualm with him. His elemental skill takes way too long to recharge. It's a ridiculous amount of, like, Childe's is massive, but Childe's actually is, like, a stance, so it's worth the wait. Xingqiu's is just a couple slashes with water, and it really isn't worth waiting for. That's one thing that puts him down a little bit. Anyway, your turn, Matthew, and look who you've got.
Pinyan, yeah, another favorite. I love her voice. I love her personality. I love her design. It's so good. She got more content recently, which is really good. Really
we went
enjoyable.
for about a year with no Xingyan content, and now we finally have it, and it's great.
Honestly, I don't care about how long it took. I just care about the content, and it's very good content. She's such a good DPS. She's very powerful. She's probably
she's definitely worth using as a DPS.
She's probably one of my strongest 4-stars. The fact that she gives a shield that can pulsate fire, that is very helpful.
She's an underrated DPS. She really does help out. I think, in particular, I almost made a video on it, but then I decided to cancel it because it was taking too long and we'd already gone into the next update by the time that I made the video. When I saw Xinyan during Moonchase, I lost my mind. I was so excited to see her. And she's also...
so cool.
She's also proven to be a great character in, Labyrinth Warriors as well.
She seems terrified of frogs.
Yeah, as strange as the Labyrinth Warriors team is, when you have to team up with Childe and Xinyan, who couldn't be more different, it both really, like, exploited their characters. Xinyan in particular was done really well. And I love her like passion for her music, and Matthew has a rock girl fetish, so naturally he's drawn to her.
Don't say it like that, first of all, and second of all, it's like only what, 3 or 2 characters.
I can cut this part out, but I kind of want to leave it in.
Well, you gotta leave in this part as well. It's like what,
yeah, I will.
2, 3 musicians.
Who's on it? Xinyan, Ibuki, and Reiko, right?
No, Reiko's not my favorite. Now and Anzu are, and they're not musicians. Venti is a musician I like, so you could say I like musicians, but then again, that's just free.
Venti's not really a rock star, though.
Yes, he is. He can be if he wants to be.
I'm only joking, though, but... Anyway, yeah, so, I take it you're putting Xinyan in S, right?
Hey, Traveler, I'm really hot. By the way, I learned how to play guitar. Yahoo!
Right, okay, for me, Xinyan's going in, B.
Xinyan's going straight in S tier.
Yeah, she's going in B for me because her screen time came a little too late, I think. But in the very least, she did escape going into D or E because of a complete and total lack of it.
She would have still been in S tier regardless, if she had content or not.
Yeah.
I like her full...
Alright.
Pun intended.
Okay, now we get on to, like I said, my favorite character in Genshin currently is, Childe. But now we will talk about my second favorite character in Genshin, and my favorite of the current 3 Archons. And if Genshin keeps going the way it does, there's a high chance that he will remain my favorite Archon. Because Zhongli is next, goes straight in S tier for me. There's so much about him that I love. First of all, great design. Excellent design. Kind of gives away the twist of the Liyue saga. But then again, it was so obvious that he was Rex Lapis Incognito right from the moment you meet him anyway. So, yeah, anyway. Second thing, perfect choice of voice actor in Keith Silverstein. I just love Keith Silverstein's voice. He's such an excellent voice actor. I love all of the things that he's been in. Third, greatest Geo character in the game. Not physically powerful, but definitely elementally powerful. His really high, really strong Geo damage. That's like only rivaled really by Albedo, if you build him right. Fourth point, best utility in the whole game. That shield is way too useful, as is his pillars that deal Geo damage to anyone who stands near them. Fantastic utility character. 5, excellent lore, excellent writing. I'll be honest, I didn't really like his first story quest. I think his first story quest is one of my least favorites in the whole game, maybe, like, in front of Hu Tao's, I don't know. His second one completely made up for it. The one that introduces Azhdaha and that additional lore on Zhongli. Fantastic story quest. I really enjoyed that. But I could go on and on about how great Zhongli is. Basically, take everything I said about Childe and move it over. Like, everything about their characters and how great and how well written they are. And yeah, just in general, I think Zhongli is a fantastic addition to Genshin. and he's definitely my favorite Archon, hands down.
Yeah, Zhongli, I like him. I think he's basically your reasons. I'm putting him in Aether.
Right, he's going straight in S, very high S. I have him on most of my teams as well. Alright, next character that you have to talk about is Sister Rosaria.
Rosaria, okay, Rosaria. I don't have much to say about Rosaria, really. I mean, she looks cool. I thought she was a zombie at first, or just really cold because she was first introduced in Dragonspine.
She looks more like a zombie and a vampire than Qiqi does, to be honest.
Yeah. I think I'll put her in B tier. She's good, but I don't really just have much to say about her.
I'm going to agree here. I honestly kind of want to build Rosaria because I hear that she's actually a really good cryo sub DPS. But in general, yeah, there's not really an awful lot to say about her. I know Callum likes her a lot.
Yeah.
Right. I'm next. Christ, I do not have much to say about Yanfei. Oh dear. She's a cute little addition.
Oh yeah, I will say, for Chongyun and Yanfei, while I don't use them on my main account, I have been using them on my North American account, and I have not touched that in like a month.
Yeah, I think you were talking about that earlier on the Discord over today, right?
No, I don't think I was, but...
Oh, well maybe I recently heard you talking about it over Discord. Anyway, Yanfei is also, very much like how I said with Lisa, is very much in the middle ground. She's an extremely endearing character, she's adorable, but ultimately her involvement in Genshin, and this is kind of weird to say in like a gacha game in particular, isn't really necessary. Like, I think the most she's ever been involved in like thorough, necessary plot is obviously the Serenity Pot mission and the short time that she got in Moon Chase. But then again, that's pretty much all of Yanfei's screen time. She is good, but then again, she's also a Pyro Catalyst, and again, I'm not the biggest Catalyst fan. But yeah, there's really nothing... There's nothing great about her, but there's nothing bad about her either. Not by a long shot.
I think she's great, honestly. I will just say, though, that her character story was kind of weak. Like, I get the whole point of Leroy's, like, contracts and money and tax. But I don't know. I don't want to sit through all these numbers. I think I'll definitely put her in A tier.
Yeah, she is cute. She is a good character, but she's not really a big, important character. She's kind of just there. Right, next. Your turn.
Who have we got? Eula. Okay, I think over the course of Eula's character story thing, I did grow to like her like more and more and more. I thought she was gonna be like one of those hit person because funny type of characters, if you know what I mean. That super serious exactly character that when someone does something not serious, they like punch him across the room kind of characters, and I do not vibe with those characters at all. But
understandably.
And then I realized her vengeance could be like legitimately anything. Like vengeance could be like paying you back or something with like money or a drink or something. And then I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty good. I like you now. I like you way more now.
For me personally, there are times where Eula's trait, because this is a bit rude to say, honestly.
I'll put her in A tier because she's also very strong, very powerful. Yeah. I really like her moveset, her character.
The thing is, Eula has what I like to call a Danganronpa V3 trait, which is essentially like, as much as I love some of Danganronpa V3's characters, one thing that most of them have in common is they have one character trait that takes priority over everything else they have, and that's about it. Eula has her vengeance, which is a similar sort of thing. And you hear that non-stop, and there are times when it's annoying to me, and times when it's endearing. It's more endearing often than not, though. More often than not, it's endearing to me, and I do love Eula's character. I think her story quest was a bit weak for the most part, up until the point where Schubert, her uncle, who is the main antagonist of that story quest, is caught, and Eula, like, squares him down, and, like, sort of rejects their whole family right in front of him, and, like, reaffirms her position with the Knights. That scene was really well done. I don't know if this was a mistake, by the way, in case people might have noticed it in it, but there's a bit where when Schubert's pointing at Eula and, like, yelling at her, his hand, like, shakes, like, violently when he, like, points at her. And it could just be an in-game error, but I don't think they should fix it, because it really helps the scene. And Eula just, at that point, that was the point for me where Eula really became a fantastic character, aside from just being pretty in design and strong in combat. And with that said, Eula is easily one of my strongest DPSs, one of my best girls, quite possibly my best girl in general, second best girl, let's say that. And she's going straight in S for me. Alright, so Matthew had his turn with one of my best girls. Now I get to have a turn with one of his best boys.
Yay, Kazuha.
Which is the very, very first Inazuma character in Genshin, which was Kaedehara Kazuha. Now, it's right here, now that we are moving on, because the only characters that we've got left now are the characters who were added as part of Inazuma. We've literally just got the Inazuma characters plus Dainslief and Aloy, right? Kazuha, in my personal opinion, with all of the Inazuma characters, Ayaka, Yoimiya, Raiden, Sara, Kokomi, Thoma, my personal opinion is that Inazuma has the best characters in the game, in terms of writing. I think all of them are written extremely well, and Kazuha being the first one is no exception. I do not own Kazuha, I have never used him, but despite the fact that I do not possess him and do not have him as a strong character, he is going in S tier, because I think he is an extremely good character overall. His involvement in Inazuma, the story and stuff, was great, and this isn't a joke, I think my favourite scene in the entirety of the Archon quest, and this isn't me exaggerating by the way, my favourite scene in every Archon quest of Genshin is the scene when he fights against Raiden and awakens his friend's vision. That scene where he, like, brandishes both Anemo and Electro at the same time was probably the best scene in any Genshin cutscene ever. It was so powerful and meant so much.
He's popping off.
Yeah, it meant so much to Kazuha's character. It was such a fantastic scene, fantastic little point, as well as the fact that he is the last character that you see in the Inazuma Archon quest when he puts his friend's vision on his grave, and it finally reawakens because all is said and done. In general, Kazuha had some of the best scenes in the entirety of Genshin's Archon quest, and it's primarily because he's such a fantastic character that those scenes were brought to life, and that's why he goes in S.
Okay, my reasons are pretty much the same as Jack. He's really cool. He's very powerful. He's a very powerful character. He's one of my main characters that I use. Extremely strong, extremely fun to play. He has a double jump. I pulled him on my first temple.
I was there, I watched it.
And then I pulled him 2 more times. And his design is just really good. I was kind of wishing that if you beat the Inazuma story, everyone with Kazuha would be able to use both Electro and Anemo. I thought that would be funny.
It would be interesting.
The only character to be able to use 2 elements after an Archon quest story.
Yeah, but also at the same time, they give a good reason why he doesn't have that. Because even though he was able to reawaken his friend's vision, he ended up leaving it at the grave, didn't he? So...
Yeah.
He wouldn't take ownership of it.
But what if? But what if, though?
It would be good. I mean, here's the thing. If Genshin eventually ends up becoming like Honkai Impact, and they create variants of the same character with different abilities, it's not out of the realm of possibility. But, that being said, I take it you're going to put Kazuha in S like I did?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Alright, I'm a little disappointed now that it's your go, but you can go right ahead.
Okay, who we got now? Aye. Jojo Hillerman. Ayaka, I think she's a really nice character. She got much better over the course of the story, I think, personally. And also, she had a very nice dance in her story at the end. That was nice. And she can also run on water. That's cool.
That's really useful, by the way.
That is very useful. And also, she's very fun to play. Unfortunately, her elemental burst, isn't exactly the best, because it's just something that anyone can just walk out of. It's not like Venti's. It looks like Venti's, except it doesn't pull you in at all. You can just walk away from it.
That is something I do agree with, but then again, when you have a Hydro character in the team, that isn't a problem.
I'll put her in A tier for Ayaka.
Alright. Ayaka is best girl. I'm saying that right out. She's my favorite female character in Genshin, and let's be honest, there's a lot of them. I loved her story quest. It was the greatest story quest in the whole game, in my opinion. She's a really excellently written character, and I know a lot of people who were playing like Genshin's beta have been waiting ages for her to be added into the game, so when they finally got her, I really hope it was worth it. The funny thing was, had it not been for that quest, I might not have pulled for Ayaka, but in the end I'm so glad I did, because I have no regrets now about pulling for Ayaka. She's just the greatest, she's the best girl, and nothing will change that. Well, I say nothing will change that, but we might get better characters in the future. Right now, she's definitely up there as one of my favorites.
You might get Venti too, as a girl.
That would suit your taste more than mine, my friend. Anyway, speaking on the topic, like I said, by the way, I'm just saying outright, don't expect all of the Inazuma characters to get into S tier, alright? But expect a majority of them too, because they're all really great. Along the same lines...
next, Yo Mama.
Next character does not have as great a plot essentialness, I guess, as Kazuha and Ayaka do, but Yoimiya does also get into S tier with them for very similar reasons. Those reasons being, she's a great pyro DPS, she's got a really adorable design, I love her, like, she hasn't got, like, a thorough backstory, but she is just an overall very quirky little character. What mainly sells her for me is her personality. I think... This is the thing, is I have never related to a Genshin character in the same way that I have Yoimiya. Her personality is very much like my own, I think. I love, like, her whole thing about how the best way to solve an issue is to talk it out, is to sort of reach middle ground through conversation, and whenever you have something on your mind that you need to say, you don't have any regrets about saying it, no matter what it might be. Even if it could hurt someone, you have to say it to make for the greater good. And I really admire that. And I really think that if Yoimiya and I met in real life, if I met someone who was like Yoimiya, I would take to them instantly. I think I had high expectations for her prior to Inazuma, and pretty much all my expectations were met. She was really good.
Yeah, and also she has some really nice shots of her with fireworks. Those are cool as well.
Her trailers are nice as well. So what do you think?
I'm definitely putting her in S for Soy Mia.
Soy Mia. Alright, your turn.
I don't know. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Who have we got now? Sayu the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
But she is cool. I like one of the most fun movesets being the roll thing you can do. If you touch ice, if you touch ice and then go on water, you can make an ice bridge while rolling, and you can roll into barrels and blow yourself up. Something I do constantly. She's very fun and very cool. I also like her ninja outfit kind of aesthetic kind of thing. I'm putting her in 8th.
Right. Sayu could potentially move up if I do her hangout. She's the only hangout I haven't done yet. I've done one ending, and I wasn't that impressed by it. I think overall I'm gonna put Sayu in B tier, because she hasn't really stood out that much. She's probably, as things currently stand, she is probably the weakest of the Inazuma characters. That does not mean she is bad. She is very, very cute. Like Matthew said, she's fun. I don't have any plans to build her per se, but I have her, and if I ever feel like rolling around, then yeah, I know what to do. I know what I can do.
I've tried to build her with Lego bricks, but I do not have any Legos.
Alright. Anyway, I think we should talk about these. I know we were taking turns. I think we should talk about these next two together, because they are a bit different, which are Dainslief and Aloy, who are a little unconventional.
I don't know anything about Aloy. I haven't tried building her. I haven't played Forza Horizon Zero Dawn.
I have Horizon Zero Dawn, but I haven't played it yet.
I thought you did.
No, I've got it. I haven't played it because I need to finish Nier. I need to finish Nier Automata first.
I'll put Dimitri, really cool. I really like his design, and he seems to have a lot of lore behind him. He seems really good, so I'm gonna slap him in S tier. But for Aloy, I don't really know much about her, but I do like her design, and I'm putting her in B tier.
I'm gonna put both Dainslief and Aloy in C. No, I'll put Dainslief in B and I'll put Aloy in C. The reason is because actually I changed my mind again. Dainslief in C and B. I'm gonna put Aloy in D. Simply because I think it's not really fair to include her on this list because she's not originally from Genshin. She's not really a Genshin character, she's just in the game. So most of what you can say about her personality and how she is reasonably should come from her original game as opposed to Genshin Impact. So her appearance in Genshin Impact, while definitely a unique addition to the game, I doubt she's as good in Genshin as she is in her original source material, so I'm going to leave her in D. Dainslief will probably go up on the list as time goes on, when we eventually return to the Abyss storyline, and learn more about Khaenri'ah and his origins. He is subject to go up on this list, but for now he's just slightly above average.
Oh, I will say, I didn't expect them to put Forza Horizon Zero Dawn in the game, like that game of all games. I didn't expect Forza.
Well, true, but
no, just Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, just Horizon Zero Dawn, but
Forza Horizon.
One thing I will say though is I hope, this is just me, well no, it might not just be me, I hope this is the last time they do a crossover event. Because, yes, it's a bit of a strange thing to add into the game with Horizon Zero Dawn, but it also opens the gates to more crossovers with more games, and I'm curious to see what they might do if they're going along these lines. Maybe they could add 2B from Nier as an electro swordswoman or something. That's just the first thing I thought of. But it would be interesting to see what MiHoYo does with their crossover characters if they ever add any more. Right, we've got 4 more characters left, and I'll take the reins for this next one, which is the Raiden Shogun. Now, alright, let me put Raiden in a tier, and then I'll tell you what I think of her. She's gonna go in A. Not S, A. Now, let's first talk about usefulness in battle. I have 4 different teams that I use in Genshin Impact most of the time. I have a general team, which usually changes when I'm just mulling, doing regular things in Genshin, like fighting enemies and doing stories and stuff like that. I have the Domain Divers team, which is a team I take in to do domains. I have the Big Bad Bosses team, which is a team that changes its members depending on what boss fight I'm grinding. So, for example, for Cryo Hyperstasis, I would take a couple of Pyro characters. And the last one is just a custom little team that I like to play around with for, like, additional events and stuff. The one thing that all 4 of those teams have in common is that Raiden Shogun is on all of them. She's probably my most used character. That being said, she narrowly escapes S tier, because as much as it pains me to say it, I think her involvement in Inazuma's Archon quest could have been better. There was way more potential for it, in my opinion. But it seems to me that despite the fact that it's the Archon quest, and comparing it to how much Venti was involved with Mondstadt's story and how Zhongli was involved with Li Wei's story, Raiden Shogun, or A, as she turns out to be, doesn't actually have that much of a presence in the Archon quest outside of being the main source of conflict. And in the end, she is outranked by the Fatui when their involvement in the story comes full circle. I think, in terms of how the Archon quest was done, almost every other character that appeared before A was written so much better, and that includes Ayaka, Yoimiya, Thoma, and eventually when she shows up and has her limelight, Yaimiko. Yaimiko was probably one of the best parts of the Archon quest, and in comparison to A, she was significantly better. A, of course, had her own story quest as well, but if you ask me, I think the Raiden Shogun chapter was one of the more lackluster. It wasn't bad by any means of the word, but I just think it could have been something a bit more impressive than what we got.
I thought it was okay.
Me too, but it wasn't. I think it should have been better, is all. I think it was good, but I think it should have been way better.
I prefer way more to Raiden Shotgun. But that being said, I do think she's okay. I think if we're thinking about more so Raiden Shotgun, I think I's like way better, and I did find it funny, terrifying, like walking out of the Azuma Palace. It looked like I got some kind of bad ending. Like I just beat the big bad and saved avenged Pretty Boy Venti's Gnosis. And why am I walking away like some kind of evil villain now? Talking about how everything's quiet. Who am I, Kamakura? And then I finally get out. I see my friends, and all of a sudden, she after letting me go, she appears behind me, and she's just massive. I'm like, oh!
It's like some Kill the Kill scene. I mean, it's supposed to be threatening, but it's just funny. But then that's what then leads into Kazuha's glow up, I guess, which, like I said, was one of my favorite moments in the Archon quest.
It's scary funny. It's scary funny. It's that thing that scares me, but it's also funny.
Yeah, it's quite entertaining.
I'll put her in B.
But anyway, all right, okay. she's going in A because I kind of rely on her significantly ever since I got her.
Very strong.
But in terms of character, I think she has room for improvement, especially when you compare her to how fantastic Venti and Zhongli were.
God,
as the other two Archons. She kind of falls short of them. Right, next up is Kujo Sara, and it's your turn.
Kujo Sara. I do not have much to say about Kujo Sara either. She's alright. But to me, that's about it. She's just alright. I'll put her. I think I'll just put her in like the top of C tier. I still think she's okay, but she's not like one of my favorites.
I'm gonna put her up a little bit higher than that. I'm gonna put her right next to girlfriend Raiden Shogun.
Super serious people aren't exactly my favorites.
Well, she lightens up a bit in Labyrinth Warriors.
Yeah, for sure. That's
but in general, Sara in general is quite a well-written character, I think. Like Matthew said, she's overly serious and competent, but it is kind of hurtful when you see the world that she knows come crashing down on her once she learns that the Tenryou Commission are trying to betray the Raiden Shogun. Because the duty that she has to the Shogun is honestly one of the most admirable things coming from a character in Genshin Impact. The fact that she alone seems to be the one remaining person in the Tenryou Commission who seriously, strives for their goal of achieving peace in Inazuma. So much so that she's willing to make sacrifices and take lives, and I have to respect that. I got really scared at the end of the Archon quest because Signora knocks her ass out and then you don't see her in the final cutscene. The next time that you see her, if you're following the events in chronological order, is during Kokomi's story quest.
You thought she died or something?
I thought she died, yeah. And I'm like, had she died, I would have been so upset. Because she was such an interesting and awesome addition to the Inazuma story. And I think it would have been so sad had we just lost her right there. When she has so much more potential. So yeah, she's in A tier, but she's a very high A tier. I think I like her as much as I like A. Which is good because I also ship them. But that aside, I think she's overall a really solid addition. Right. Whose turn is it? It's my turn, right?
Kokomi. Go on.
Yeah. We've got 2 more characters to go. Alright. This is where I have to go on a bit of a rant, alright? Like I did with the other 2 that we just talked about, I'm going to put Kokomi around the same area in A, right? My biggest problem with Kokomi is, like I said with A, she suffers the same problem as the Raiden Shogun. Her story quest was good, but it wasn't the best, and she has a lot more potential to her character. That said, I am sick and tired of hearing hate about her on the internet, saying that she's weak for the single reason that she cannot crit.
I never get that. Isn't she supposed to be a healer? Why are you making your healer a DPS?
You're meant to build her as a healer, but this is the thing. Because her damage scales with her HP, she does a shitload of damage regardless of what artifacts you have on her.
Oh yeah, that too.
All you have to do is put HP artifacts on her, and she hits like a truck, especially when she uses her burst. And this seems crazy, but I think my Kokomi is actually stronger than my Raiden Shogun. Yeah. And I rolled for Kokomi just because I could, and I ended up getting her. But it was actually a really good opportunity for me. So, because once I built her, she became invaluable. And you know how earlier when we were talking about Qiqi and you said that she was the best healer in the game?
Yeah.
And how I said that I think there was someone else in the game who was much better? That was Kokomi.
Oh, the build-up, the callback.
She's such a great healer. And I tell you this much. Labyrinth Warriors has ranged from being super difficult to super easy at times for me. But in the cases where it's super difficult and I come very close to losing everything, Kokomi has saved my ass like several times during the really hard parts of Labyrinth Warriors. There are times when she's come down to being my last remaining character, and she just has refused to die because she's so good at healing. So, for people out there who say that Kokomi is trash, screw you. Kokomi's fantastic. She could definitely be a better character in terms of writing, but she is an excellent character to play. And that's coming from someone who doesn't like catalysts, bear in mind.
She is very good. I do like her a lot. I do feel like the hate is kind of weird. I have put her in A tier. She's got an amazing design and also very great moveset. A tier, and also the reasons you spoke of. But
yeah,
except the only thing is I don't have her.
Yeah, we're in agreement on that one. I got her very much by luck. Right. There's one more character. Just one more before we end this video, and it's all yours, buddy.
Thoma the Tank Engine, baby. So, let's see him. Where is he? There he is. Okay, I love his design. He's very cool, very pretty, great character. I tried him recently. He seems very good. Unfortunately, I have not been able to roll him. I'm getting there. I'm getting here. I will definitely get him. Mark my words. I will definitely get Thoma the Tank Engine.
I might get Thoma too, if possible. I think I am quite interested.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him. Yeah, but from what I'm definitely gonna try and build him. From what I've seen of him so far, he's very good. I loved his inclusion in the story. I thought it was great. I thought it was funny. I thought it was enjoyable, like to watch. And yeah. S tier.
You know what? I was going to put him in A tier, but I think I agree with you. I'm actually going to put him in S as well.
Join me, one of us.
Yeah. This is a thing, okay? Going on from what Matthew said, like I said, the one thing I hate about Thoma is the fact that he's always compared to Childe. I understand that people think they look similar, but I think that they are vastly different characters. And the only similar character trait that they have is the fact that they like to be coy with the Traveler and tease them at times. But Thoma is probably the first character that you meet when you arrive in Inazuma. He's the second character from Inazuma that you meet after Kazuha. And he was a great way to start the Archon quest off. That being said, there's another thing I need to add. And as Matthew mentioned earlier on in the video, he has not yet done the Hangouts, right?
Yeah, I need to.
You haven't done the Hangouts yet, okay? Do you want to hear what I'm about to say about Thoma's Hangout?
Hold on, before you do, I gotta put Thoma next to Childe, so I can get confused on which one's which.
God damn you. Now you're making me do it as well. But no.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Hot take. Thoma has the best hangout in the whole game. There is... I finished Thoma's hangout in one day, unlike how I've done with Sayu, and also how I didn't do the same with, like, Noelle's. I finished Thoma's in one day, and it doesn't matter what direction you go in or what ending you get, all of them are great. I think overall he has the best endings of his quest. It's really fun to just hang out with him and learn more about him, especially because prior to playing the quest and prior to seeing him in the 2.2 live stream, I had no idea Thoma was from Mondstadt originally. Yeah. No clue whatsoever. And that really did surprise me, and it's interesting in the ending where he talks to you about his past.
Paimon's made-up excuse for who Childe was to Xinyan, saying that he's from Mondstadt, is a reference to how they're the same character.
You know what? I didn't even notice that, but I'm not playing with your fantasy, my friend. But yeah, Thoma overall, very good character, very important addition to the Inazuma story, and overall deserves more respect and recognition for being a really good one. So, yeah, That's it. That's everyone we've got so far. We will probably come back to do this when more characters get added. I know Arataki Itto and Gorou are on their way, and presumably a couple other characters like Yaimiko will be here as well. Now let's go.
You want to do V3 characters as well from Danganronpa, right?
Yeah, we're gonna do a redo of the Danganronpa one that we did before on my channel.
Because I got finished V3
and Ultra Despair Girls.
Oh yeah, that too.
So we're gonna make a big tier list video together on the Danganronpa stuff. For now though, before we end this video, let's do one final once over of all the characters who are on this tier list today. So for me, I'm gonna go over mine first, alright? So from S to F. So in F tier at the very bottom we've got Hu Tao. In E we've got Barbara and Mona. In D, Albedo, Diona, and Aloy. In C, Ganyu, Lisa, Ningguang, and Yanfei. In B, Aether/Male Traveler, Chongyun, Fischl, Kaeya, Keqing, Noelle, Sucrose, Xingqiu, Xinyan, Rosaria, Sayu, and Dainslief. In A tier, Amber, Bennett, Jean, Klee, Lumine, Paimon, Razor, Raiden Shogun, Kujo Sara, and Sangonomiya Kokomi. And in S tier, Beidou, Diluc, Qiqi, Childe/Tartaglia, Venti, Zhangling, Zhao, Zhongli, Eula, Kaede Hirakazuha, Kamisato Ayaka, Yoimiya, and Thoma. And that's my list.
Cool. Okay, so my list. In C tier we've got...
Do you have anyone below C tier?
No.
Alright.
Kujo Sarah Chidoin, Wagwan Ningguang, Hu Tao, Bisexual, Chongyun, Diluc, Dave, Diona, Ganyu West, Klee, Mona Lisa, Xingqiu, Rosaria, Zhao, Aloy, and Raiden Shogun. B, that was B, stone from Beidou. I think I said that. A tier, we got Kokomi, Albedo, Barbara, Jean, Kaeya, I almost forgot his name, Keqing, Noelle, Paimon, Razor, Sucrose, Zhongli, Yanfei, Eula, Ayaka, and Sayu. In S tier, we got Dimitri, Dainslief, Zhanling, Childe, Thoma. Wait, that's the same person. Oh, wait. No. Childe, Thoma, Yoimiya, Qiqi, Benedict, Amber, Lumine, Aether, they're the same person. Xinyan, Fischl, Kazuha, and Venti.
Alright.
There you go.
Okay, so that was our video. And if you liked, make sure that you like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications if you want to see more content.
Turn on notifications so you can see the video called 3 Idiots Eat Cake and Make Poop Jokes, and then your mum on your iPad and asks you what you're watching.
Yeah. Alright. But for now, though...
Or you could instead give all your possessions to Venti.
But for now, though...
For Venti.
Stop. We will now... We will see you in the next video. So goodbye for now.
Go.
I need to go toilet very quickly.
You need to get Paimon, those animal artifacts, and then you can use them for Traveler as well. Combined together, it's like putting Sonic 3 and Knuckles together. And Sonic and Knuckles together to make Sonic 3 and Knuckles. It's just super powerful.
Yeah.
And just like Sonic 3 and Knuckles, it can combine with the Animo element to create Swirl and kill the Abyss Mages and the stupid Ruin Guards.
Yeah. Alright, by the way, I need to very quickly go toilet. I'll be right back. And when I'm back, you can talk about Qiqi, alright? Matthew?
Yeah, okay, sure. You know who else is a great Animo user? Paimon 2. The Unknown God is actually Paimon because, if you notice, they both have white hair, which is something that is very you know, good. Also, it's canonically confirmed that the unknown god cannot swim. This is seen by how she flies and attacks you at the start of the game in an area where there is no water to be seen. She might be from Honkai Impact. I can't tell. Probably. I remember playing Honkai Impact. That was a while ago. I like the main menu theme. I listened to that a while ago. I listen to that now still. It's very relaxing. It's like you're floating in. It's like you're floating in the air somehow. Just like Paimon. Oh my god, Paimon is from Honkai Impact, who got turned into some child fairy thing, and now flies around with you. Who unfortunately had to have a dialogue option about emergency food, so now she carries the emergency food joke around her like a, like frisk stins crawling on their back, like in Undertale. Maybe Paimon is related to Undertale. I don't know. I am not certain about that. I might have to ask Game Theory if they think Paimon is related to Undertale in any way. She might be, actually. Paimon, also, like how Barbara got her voice changed, Paimon will have a very noticeable voice change with Chris Pratt. Like, I know he's already voiced by Chris Pratt, but they're gonna redo Paimon's voice lines to be like a really deep, manly voice. Like, it's gonna sound like really buff, like, Paimon thinks we should travel here later. The devs haven't programmed it in this area yet. You know, like that. Yes, Paimon does talk about the game devs in Genshin Impact. That's because she knows she's in a video game. Making her white color palette resembles Sans Undertale, making them both the same character.
I heard you talking the entire time I was in the toilet, by the way.
Jack, you just got here. We're talking about how Paimon is like Sans, or is Sans more.
I hope you realize. You know what I'm gonna do?
What?
I didn't hear anything. Well, I heard you continuing to talk about Sans. What I will do is I'm gonna take all of that rant and I'm gonna put it at the end of the video before we close out.
Why not put it at the start, middle, and end? It's very important.
No, that's definitely end game content. All right. Anyway,